The challenge skills balance is what Csikszentmihalyi dubbed the golden rule of flow. And the idea, right, flow follows focus. So we may pay the most attention to the task at hand when the challenge of that task slightly exceeds our skill set, right? The important thing here is you want to stretch but not snap. To put it emotionally, flow exists near the midpoint between boredom, hey, there's not enough stimulation here, I'm not paying attention, and anxiety, whoa, way too much stimulation, I can't take it anymore. In between is this sweet spot. What's tricky about it is that for people who are not really used to pushing themselves very hard, this sweet spot is the point at which you start to get uncomfortable, right? You're outside your comfort zone, so you're feeling discomfort. For really high performers, the problem with the sweet spot is the exact inverse. It's a lot lower than most people think it is. And most people end up biting off challenges that are much, much bigger than they should be. And it creates too much fear, and it actually blocks the state of flow, which is the very thing they need most to achieve that challenge.
I love it. And you used the actual number 4% to capture this idea of, look, it's not 40% or 400%. It certainly isn't 400% or 4,000 or 40,000%. Don't snap, just stretch. 4%. Can you tell us about what that 4% kind of feels like from your perspective?
Yeah, first of all, I gotta give you a little background on it because it came out of a calculation Csikszentmihalyi had performed with a Google mathematician. It was a total made up number. It was an exemplar, right? It was a back of the envelope thing, and they were trying to figure out, what is this ratio? And so they did this back of the envelope calculation, and I saw that and I thought, wow, that's unreal. That's a lot lower than I thought it was going to be. How surprising. And I took it into the Flow Genome Project, and we sort of ran a loose study, just like friends and family kind of study, nothing formal. Usually mostly with action adventure sport athletes, because we found we could, for example, if you're a downhill mountain biker, you could sort of figure out where you are and all the other features, the jumps and the tricks and all the things that were on the mountain that you couldn't do, and you would rate them how much harder percent wise than your current ability, usually based on how much fear did they actually strike in your heart. It was totally back in the envelope, right? What has happened since Rise of Superman has come out is that people that we work with in the Flow Genome Project have done this more and more and more and more rigorously, and really kind of gotten detailed with it, and they've done it with kind of athletes at every level, and people in society at every level. And once again, everybody has found, even though it started out as a back of the envelope calculation that Csikszentmihalyi performed, everything that we've done has borne it out. So now we're actually on the front end of starting much more rigorous studies. But the most important thing I think about that 4% is it's liberating on the front end. It actually ends up feeling a little bit like a prison on the back end. And let me explain. The difference with 4% is it's a lot smaller than you think it is, which is awesome. You can wake up every morning and think, today I'm going to, write 4% harder than I did yesterday, or I'm going to, push 4% harder, on my research project than I did yesterday, or, however it is. And you can sort of measure it out. And go that way. But what it really means is it's 4% day after day, week after week, month after month, and it requires an extraordinary level of kind of emotional control and grit that is only possible because flow is such an amazingly feel-good high that, all this grit is worth it because the payoff is huge.
If what you've heard on Flow Research Collective Radio has been helpful, please consider doing us a solid and leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening to this. Reviews help us connect to a wider audience so we can get these peak performance principles out to more people.